Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I am your tarot reader Stephanie, and today's reading is about spring messages, what you are going to be experiencing in the spring, messages you need to hear, or anything else you should know. We have 3 piles here for you today. Pile 1, we have green calcite. Pile 2, we have an onyx buffalo. And pile 3, we have a golden healer palm stone, golden healer quartz. So take a few deep breaths, think about your spring, and I'll be ready for your reading whenever you're ready. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the green calcite, then we have a reading here for you for your spring messages. What is awaiting you this springtime? In the northern hemisphere, it is spring, but this is meant to be timeless. So whenever you come upon this reading is when you're meant to hear it, regardless of the season or if it's about to be spring in your side of the world. So let's start with the card you chose. You chose Grasshopper, number 18. The whispers of your desires are guiding you to trust the unfolding of your story. There's something about music being important here. She is playing, or he, this grasshopper fairy being is playing this little violin. And it's rather lovely. It's because, well, I think more of crickets whenever they do their little symphony. So something about crickets or grasshoppers could be important here. Something about the music you create, the music you hear at night, or even the music in your soul. The whispers of your desires are guiding you to trust the unfolding of your story. So you're going to have a magical springtime. It's kind of like, I'm getting a little bit of, what's that play, Midsummer Night's Dream, which I know that's about summer. So there's something that starts in the spring here that could follow you into the summer. But there's something beautiful here. For a lot of you, there's a new story unfolding or the beginnings of a story. I'm not sure if you've manifested this or if this is something that you're trying to create, but is this giving me like Page of Wands energy? Because in the, I want to say it's the Shadowscapes Tarot, the Page of Wands actually is playing an instrument as well. I can't remember if it's a violin or if it's it's some kind of stringed instrument. I remember that. And honestly, I may use that tarot deck for this reading if I can find it. But let's go ahead and get more cards for you to see what is awaiting you this spring, pile 1. We have Wreath Making, number 44. Adorn your world with spells infused with purpose and craft the life you desire. So a lot of you, lots of creative energy this spring. You're going to be creating a lot of things, whether that is projects, whether that is physical things, or creating new ideas. There's like an influx of new inspiration here for you. Some of you could literally be wearing or making wreaths if that's something you do this time of year. Whether it's to wear yourself or to put around the house. We have Hot Cross Buns, number 20. This is not a warning, but a caution for what lingers. Interesting. Hot cross buns in my culture, because I grew up Catholic, was something that we ate during Ash Wednesday because of the little cross. So I don't know if they have any other meaning. That's the meaning I know. But also something about baking here could be important. There is a warning, or sorry, a caution, not a warning, for some of you to be careful this season. I wonder what of though. I guess just in general, be on guard. Let's get one more and then we'll move on to another deck. We have Esther, which is Easter, number 13. In the darkest of hours, when all seems to be lost, comes the magic of light. So Easter time could be important. Easter is one of my favorite holidays because it is a holiday of fertility, creativity, of new beginnings, of the things we create. I've always loved that meaning. And of course, I love the aesthetic as well. Lots of pastel colors, lots of, bunnies. I've always loved bunnies. It's one of those, it's my favorite holiday. And I'm not so much because of what I do, but because of the feeling it brings. I know that's weird. And when I found out its original meaning, it made so much sense to me. That must have been some past life thing that I took on, because growing up, of course, I celebrated the coming of Jesus because, like I said, I grew up Catholic. But as I got older and understood that it was a fertility holiday, it made more sense to me because it's pretty much how we create life. It's a celebration of life. And I think other religions coincide that celebration of life and fertility and renewal with this kind of holiday. Of course, they call it something different and it might be on different days. So I feel like Easter could be important regardless of when you celebrate it. If you celebrate it, maybe that date could be important. That particular Sunday could be important. Here, pile 1. Let's go ahead and get your froggy cards. We have, I am allowed to rest without guilt. Ooh, so some of you could be taking a little bit of a holiday or some extra time off. This cute little teacup. Maybe some of you are going to like a bathhouse, a hot springs, or somewhere where there's water that like reinvigorates you. Like a spa, or even, I guess, the ocean, the beach. I'm not an ocean, beach, or lake person, but I am like a hot water kind of person. So hot springs, spas, those kinds of things, really, I love them. But this is so cute. I feel like a lot of you, you're resting, or you're gonna take a moment to rest this spring for sure. Especially those of you, like where I live, there's a lot of pollen, and I don't know what it is about pollen, but it tires me out. It makes me drowsy, it makes me sleepy. I get a little weak. So take the time you need to rest. And back of the deck, I know that bad days do not last forever. Oh my god, okay, look at these little socks and the heels. Maybe some of you could be sporting these. I know this look was really popular back in like the 2010s when those are my college days, which we had so much fun dressing up back then. So some of you could be rocking that particular style again. But even if you're not, I think it's cute. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're not paying attention to the bad days, or you're deciding to not let negativity bring you down as much this spring. I feel like you have too much to look forward to, too many exciting things. And yeah, it's a very positive reading for you, pile 1. Even if you're typically not a very positive person, I feel like this particular season, it's going to be very positive for you, especially if you're getting a lot more sunlight, a lot more outside time. We have Archangel Christiel, highest consciousness, light, Christ light. This is very interesting. I haven't heard of her, but I will look into the book for it. But she gives such a, there's a lot of, some of you could be blonde, because I'm noticing a lot of blonde hair, or you could decide to go blonde this springtime. But with light, I feel like you're bringing in a lot of light. I also see you spending more time in the light in general, like in the sunlight. And Hathor, celebration, rejuvenation, and gratitude. She's a fertility goddess. Again, we're talking about Easter here, fertility, awareness, but also creativity. Let's get, I think I want to use, yeah, let's do the florography cards, because springtime is usually associated with flowers. I want to see what flowers are going to be resonating with you and what messages they bring. But overall, very peaceful energy. Very abundant as well, but not in an in-your-face kind of abundance. It's kind of like everywhere you go, there's something for you. We have chrysanthemums, optimism. In keeping with their noble heritage, chrysanthemums were traditionally considered to mean wealth, abundance, and imperiality. What did I say? Abundance here, pile 1. Nowadays, they are more generally symbolized cheerfulness, optimism, and happiness, which, again, I was feeling that in this pile. Give a mum to your mum to wish her a happy Mother's Day, or to a friend to bring them joy. So especially if Mother's Day is in the springtime where you live, this could be like a significant flower. You could decide to give your mother mums. Maybe you find like a very beautiful color of mums or something, or maybe they're on sale, or maybe they're just, you see an arrangement that is important. But beautiful flowers here. So mums could be important, which is funny because I think they're typically a fall flower, at least where I live. Yeah, October and November. So maybe where you live, October and November is when spring is, and maybe you're watching it during those months, pile 1. Let's get more cards for you. Taurus energy is coming through, and like I said, if it's Taurus season in the spring for you, then this could be important. We have wild. Ooh, some of you could be going on a wild adventure. Whatever wild means to you. I know everyone has their own definition of wild, but whatever wild means to you, that's what you're going. Maybe you're going to go whale watching as well with these orcas here. Back of the deck, we have invasive. Interesting. I do see, anytime I see this card, I think of people being invasive in your energy, or maybe being nosy. Lots of mirroring numbers, by the way. We have 44, 22, 33. So especially with invasive being here, I wonder if people are trying to copy your style, or you notice that people are trying to do what you do. Like you let them know what you're doing and suddenly they're doing the same thing, or you could inspire people to do this. And I guess it depends on how annoying you find this. Some people don't like it when people copy them, but some people find it flattering. I guess it depends. But don't be surprised if people end up copying you or asking you how you do what you do so that they can do it as well. Maybe you're a trendsetter. I get this a lot, especially if you have like, I see this with people with a lot of strong Aries placements. They'll do something and then everybody else wants to do it. Or Aquarius as well. Gemini, Aquarius, Aries. You could have those particular placements. Who else? Those are the ones coming through. Maybe Leo a little bit. But mostly Aquarius, Aries, and Gemini. Let's get the last of your cards for your springtime, and then we're going to go into the tarot. So we have Serpent Transformation, again with number 44. Some of you could be a Lifepath 44, which would also make you a Lifepath 8. And that typically means that you're very hardworking. That typically means that you don't mind doing the hard work to get to where you need to be. So you will eventually be successful. And I know some people say number 8s are not really successful. That's not true. The people I know who are number 8s are some of the hardest working people I know. And just through sheer habit, they become successful. Even if it's later in life, even if it's like at a different point in life, they are given some difficult circumstances, but they overcome. Not only that, but they're very likable people, like I said, because they're hardworking and because they overcome a lot. Especially if you're a Lifepath 44, which I'm not sure much about Lifepath 44. I think they're the builders, they're the constructors, they're typically good CEOs, and people really look up to them for guidance. Number 33 is more nurturing, and I say that because I'm a 33 and also I'm a Taurus, so I feel Hathor's energy very strongly here. She is a cow goddess. Back of the deck for this one, we have secure and not. So you're securing something here. Also, number 20 came out twice. So the 20th of any month could be important. The 22nd, the 15th, 13th, and 18th of any month in this springtime for you. Pile 1. But if this all sounds like it's resonating, if you want to keep going on, we're going to move on to the tarot, where we're going to see what awaits you this spring, any messages that you need to know, what you need to look out for, and maybe any important people. Oh, I did need to read for Archangel Christiel. Somebody here could be named Christy, Kristen, Christian, Christiel, maybe. That's a cute name. I don't think I've ever met anyone named Christiel, but maybe that'll be important. Maybe you'll meet somebody named Christiel. Archangel Christiel is the angel of the divine feminine Christ consciousness. She is a very high vibrational angel who can assist you in activating the Christ light within, connecting you to the energies of love, compassion, peace, forgiveness, courage, strength, and higher wisdom. The Christ light is usually associated with Jesus, but many masters of light, such as the Buddha, also worked with this energy. Archangel Christiel can help you connect to this energy of higher consciousness and love directly through the higher chakras, the soul star, casual, and stellar gateway chakras. You are light and love incarnate. Live your life from the highest path and perspective. I do see you taking the high road. I do see you choosing to be positive. And I'm not saying like this is not toxic positivity pile 1. This is you choosing to be positive. And I'm not sure if this was due to something recent, or maybe you're just trying it out because maybe people have told you to do it, so you're choosing to do so, which is really interesting. Because that's not something I would really advise per se. Maybe I have when I've been channeling before, but I'm not sure. But I see you just choosing light. I see you choosing ease. I see you choosing things that make you feel better, as opposed to like choosing lower vibrational things. Maybe you're making it a point to change your life around this spring. Let's go ahead and get more cards. Let's go ahead and get your tarot. We got 9 of Swords reversed. I love to see that card reversed. We have the Hierophant reversed. I'm hearing that you're done with karmic lessons. It's like you're done with the difficulties, especially those of you who've had a very difficult 2025 thus far. It's like, I'm done with that. You're deciding to do nothing but happy, positive things. The Lovers, not surprised. We have the Devil. For a lot of you, this does have to do with like romance or even friends or anything that you've chosen in the past that has led you down the wrong path or that is a bit tempting. You're like, I'm not doing that anymore. We have the King of Pentacles. Interesting. Nine of Cups. Okay, there's a Capricorn here who's important to you, or somebody with strong Capricorn energy, because the Devil, I mean, it can be bad habits, but I'm also seeing it as temptation, as a fun time, especially if you're typically very straight-laced or very strict with yourself, or if you decide to just do, it's like your energy might have been a bit too stuffy in the past, and now somebody's here showing you a good time and you're deciding to have a good time, which I get it, pile one, I've been there before. I do see this person having strong earth energy. So this person will be very nurturing, very grounding. Nine of Cups, they're going to help you fulfill a particular wish or dream. This doesn't have to be romantic, though it can be, because we do have the Lovers here. This could be a friend even. Somebody who helps you achieve a goal, because Capricorn energy, because I'm reading that more strongly than the Devil, honestly. And even if the Devil does show up, it's like, it's got nothing on your light, so don't worry about that. Even if the bad habits do come around, don't worry about that, because it's like your light overpowers everything. You're the kind of person who could make somebody with bad habits want to reform, is what I'm hearing. So it's very interesting, because in the past, I see you leaving behind anything that's been worrying you, anything that's been a little bit karmic, or anything that's kind of like, you're just done with past energy. You don't want to have to think about the past anymore. You don't really care about the past, except to where it has to remind you of who you are now as a person and who you can become. With the Lovers here, I see you fully embracing yourself, because yeah, you can see it as like new friendships, new love, etc. But I mostly see you being at peace with yourself, so that even when temptation comes around, even with the bad habits, negative people, etc. come around, you are not going to be allowing their energy to bring you down. You know who you are. The King of Pentacles is stability here. It's knowing who you are, staying grounded, staying firm in your beliefs, staying firm to who you are. It's integrity, really. And with the Nine of Cups, it's only going to bring you a much more beautiful source of happiness. Because look how we begin with the Nine of Swords, one of the more negative nines, and we end with the Nine of Cups, one of the more positive nines here. So it's kind of like you're literally turning your life around in the spring. And in a stubborn way, because Pentacles energy, it's earth energy. It's very stubborn. You could have earth in your chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or you could just be embodying that energy this springtime. Back of the deck, we have Three of Wands. And I do see you going on new adventures, new journeys. You could be planning a trip, and King of Cups. You are going to meet a bit of a counterpart. But with the Seven of Swords, Ace of Swords, I see you getting in your own way. Because the Seven of Swords, I'm being told to take as the deceptions well, not the deceptions you give yourself. I mean, it could be the deceptions you give yourself, but it's kind of like when you come up with excuses as to why things can't work out. You're deceiving yourself from a good time, or you're deceiving yourself from something positive. Because it's kind of like, why are you making excuses when you haven't tried it yet? And I'm not saying to ignore red flags if you see any. It's more like, if all you see are beige flags or you know, little pink flags, it's like, just allow yourself to try something. So some of you could be trying to hold back because you see temptation, but it's not really temptation. It's more like, it's what's the word? A good time. A good time. But it's kind of, and I get the hesitation. It's like, maybe you followed a good time before and it led you nowhere. But yeah, Seven of Cups, that's what, it's like, you have options. You have options. Not only that, but you can decide to move forward, move back. You have a lot more control over your life than you recognize and realize here, pile one. So I hope this made sense. Also, there's a lot of major arcana here. There's like 3. So that's half of these cards are major arcana, plus a big court card. Big impactful things are happening this spring for you. Let's go ahead and move on to some closing advice for my pile 1. So let's use the evening affirmators evening mantras deck. For my pile 1, any advice that they need to hear. Obsessive comparison is only useful for online shopping. The truth is, we're all living 7.5 billion completely unique lives. So let's compare less and live more, okay? Especially after wine and or midnight. So that's funny, because wasn't I just talking about people wanting to copy you, compare themselves to you? So for some of you, if you've noticed that people are wanting to copy you or do the thing that you do, understand that it's never going to be the same, because they do things their way, you do things yours. We all move different, we all look different, we all operate differently, we vibrate differently. It's just, Because I see this a lot, especially with tarot on YouTube. Everybody could do the exact same theme reading. We could all do a crush reading. They're all going to be different because every reader reads differently. They all have a different way of reading their cards. They all have different cards that they use. They all have different ways that they do their readings. And no one way is better than the other. It's just a style. Because trust me, I do certain readings that other... I don't know if I do them exactly, but I'll see certain readings and I get inspired and I'll do it my way because of course every reader is different. That's a wonderful thing to have. So same thing with you, pile one. If you see people copying you, they could never copy you. Let's say they decide to wear the same clothes you do. It's going to look different on them because they look different. They look different from you. You could have different bodies, different skin tones, different hair, different, whatever. It's not going to look the same. And that's beautiful, So there's something here about not comparing yourself to others and not letting others compare you to them either. So yeah, I don't know who needed to hear that or if that's going to be a big thing this springtime. Let's get more cards for you. Any more advice that my pile one needs? We have feed your artists. Like I said, lots of creativity is coming through this spring. You're going to be inspired and people will be inspired by you. We have creator alchemy. So yeah, you're creating something this spring for sure. And you are epic, but nobody is like you. Not only are you unique, not only are you one of a kind, I feel like people also look up to you. So don't be surprised when people do the exact same thing that you do. People look up to you. People absolutely love what you do. And there's no one like you here, pile one. But this is where I leave it. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a beautiful springtime. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello, pile two. If you chose the Onyx Buffalo, then we have a reading here for you for the time of spring. I'm getting some no-nonsense vibes from this one. I am getting some... I'm just getting some bad bee energy here, and I kind of love it because I was trying to tap into this energy, and it's kind of like I don't have time for people. I don't have time for, especially those of you who are dating. I don't have time for these hoes. I'm out here trying to live my life. So this spring, even if you go on spring break, even if you have a vacation, even if you have whatever going, you're not caring about who's into you, romance, whatever. Maybe some of you came out of a breakup or a divorce or something. You're doing you, because I see people checking off their bucket wish list. I see people doing things that they've never been able to do before due to other circumstances. I see you doing you, pile two. And this energy is strong because I haven't even tapped into this energy, and already I'm just like, oh my God, nothing is stopping you. Whatever you want to do this springtime, pile two, you're doing it. And of course, I do have to say, this is regardless of where you are. This is for springtime in your area, in your hemisphere, in your side of the world. So I say spring break because where I live, people usually take that around March, April, May. But regardless, the card you chose is Sacred Circle 34. A dive into the depths of the unknown within beckons your becoming. Some of you could be turning 34 this spring, like yours truly. I'm already 34. Oh wow, I'm turning 35. Time flies. But with the Sacred Circle, it's kind of like you're becoming somebody you weren't expecting. You're becoming someone new, something different. And I absolutely love this energy. If you had asked yourself years ago that you would become this person, you would not have believed it. Because this is somebody who doesn't take any crap from anybody. Okay, this card fell out. I'm going to put it off to the side because it's actually closing advice. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and read it now. You are epic. What did we say? What did I say? What did I say, pile two? You are absolutely epic. You are a bad bee. Nothing can stop you now. And I'm hearing that song by Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. Because you're not going to. Like, you're doing whatever you want and you don't care what anybody has to say about it. Absolutely love it. We have Pink Moon 29. Your tongue will illuminate the spaces within your thoughts that need evolving. Some of you, you're not holding your tongue either. Some of you could easily be like Gemini or have like a Mercury in Gemini. You could also be Aries because I feel this energy from Aries. Taurus as well. But mostly Aries, Taurus, Gemini, or a combination of all three. The pink moon could be important. I forget which moon that is, so if you want to look that up, you can. But yeah, you're not holding back your tongue. You're saying what needs to be said. We also have germination 17. Trust in and fully embrace the emerging path to who you truly are. Yeah, it's kind of like you had to get down and dirty, because look how this person or this being, little fairy-like creature, is all up in the ground, like waiting to sprout blooms or already sprouting blooms. It's like you had to go through a lot, and I mean a lot. It makes me think of a lotus that grows in the mud and dirt and like blossoms beautifully. Okay, we have hot cross buns. 20. This is not a warning, but a caution for what lingers. Yeah, watch your tongue, because like I said, a lot of you are very outspoken this season, and not everyone's gonna like it. People don't always like it when you call them out, even if they have to be called out, even if the truth has to come through, some people just don't like it. And it's not that you're a bad person. It's not that there's anything wrong with you. It's just that they didn't want to hear it at that time. And, you know, maybe Mercury retrograde brought this onto you as well. Pile 2. We have ancestral lands. Within your roots, you will find the truest form of magic, which belongs to the essence of who you are and who you will become. Some of you could literally be going to ancestral lands if you're going to like the home country of your heritage, of your family, or maybe you could be laying down roots somewhere new. So take whichever resonates. Some of you could be going back somewhere where you've been before, and some of you could be finding a new ancestral land. It's kind of like some of you could be going somewhere that's always been calling you, and it will feel like home. Regardless, this place will feel like home. So like I said, some of you could be going wherever your family's from. You could be going there. If you're already where you are and that's where your family's from, you could be finding new places to live. Because there's something, whenever I was tapping into the 2025 yearly readings, I felt like a huge shift in movement. And I feel like people are just going to move all over the world, all over the place, whether it's of their own volition or not. But regardless, I see you finding new places to live, or new places to... Some of you could be going back to where your family's from, honestly, because you want to. I feel like... I mean, this could be due to outside circumstances as well, but maybe some of you really do want to as well. So take it how it resonates. Let's go ahead and get your froggy cards for my pile 2. What does spring have in store for them? Oh my gosh. I am going to treat myself the way I would treat my best friend. Look at you. Just looking adorable with like these thigh-high boots. But I do see you treating yourself a lot better this season. I do see you... I mean, Gemini season could also be important because this makes me think of twins, the Gemini twins, which I know Gemini is more summer, at least where I live. But I'm going to take it anyway, just because I get strong Gemini energy in this pile. And then back at the deck. I believe that good things will happen to me, and good things will happen to you. Also, look at this pine cone. Your girl is obsessed with pine cones, by the way. I love pine cones. I've lived around them. Like every house that I've been to, I've always had these huge trees, and they always have like the biggest pine cones. I don't know why. I just love them. And I don't even know what they are. Like, I don't think they're seeds per se, but good things will happen to you this season, pile 2. I really do feel like, mostly because, like I said, you're in bad bee energy. You don't care. And when you're being an authentic energy that is true to yourself, authentic opportunities come through. People see the real you and they love her or him. Okay, you get 2 of these cards. We have Dynamic Yin and Yang, number 35, and Vigilance Scorpion, number 8. So the 8th house is coming through here, the House of Secrets. Also the House of Sensuality, yes. What is it? Transformation. That's what it is. The House of Transformation. There's an intensity to you this season, pile 2. So you could have certain placements in the 8th house. Again, regardless of what time spring is where you live, there's like this no nonsense energy. And that would make sense with Scorpio. Scorpios are very honest, very blunt as well. So let's add them to the list of people who would be very no nonsense. But I feel like there's an intensity to you. Vigilance also lets me know that you have to be on guard of who you are around, who you hang around, who you tell what. There's something here about being careful with your plans or who you tell what, because not everybody is going to take it lightly. Especially with this yin yang, even though it's not technically a polarizing dynamic, it's more like you will be polarizing people. You're going to show them their shadow, or you're going to show them their light. So I feel like some of you could do this naturally, especially especially if you have Pluto in a very particular placement. You could have Pluto in the 8th house like myself, but you could also have Pluto in the 1st house or on the ascendant. This tends to make a very polarizing person. I know people with Pluto on the ascendant, and they're very interesting because people will either adore them or hate them, and it's like they can't control it. They can't help it. It's just they exist, and people decide right away what side they're on. Or they could easily have like a ping pong effect, I guess, or like, you know, where people turn on them very quickly, which is interesting. Let's go ahead and get more cards for my pile 2. We have Goddess Gaia, Mother Nature, the provider, the elements. Some of you could be spending a lot of time in nature this spring season, especially if it's warmer or if it's like a particular season that you like to go out. Or maybe your favorite plants, trees, or whatever is in bloom, so you like to go see it. We also have Sekhmet, fierceness, destruction, rebuilding. Yeah, there's a ferocity here. There's a fierceness here. Like I said, very strong in your face energy. People are not going to be able to escape it. And I think this is why you polarize people. It's like it's hard to ignore you, so people can't help but make up their mind about you, especially if you're in the public eye, especially if you're already very seen by people. They're going to have opinions about you, and I don't think you really care, but I'm just letting you know this is how springtime is going to be for you. So embrace it. I feel like you should just ride it out because you can't help it. You can't stop it. Back of the deck, Archangel Uriel, illumination, ideas into form, inner power. Yeah, very powerful energy. Lots of orange here as well. So sacral energy for sure, which is typical of spring. Spring usually is associated with fertility. Let's get your last cards for my pile 2. I'm running out of space here. You got extra cards, so I feel like you're gonna get some extra stuff this springtime. We've got peaceful, and despite all this intense in your face, no nonsense energy, you're at peace with yourself. Some of you could find peace in being the center of attention. So maybe you're in I almost said air sign, but also a fire sign. So you could be Leo. I keep hearing Aquarius. Dang. Okay, so some of you could be Aquarius. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. You could be an Aquarius or Gemini. Not so much Libra. I feel like Libra wouldn't be this polarizing, but if you are, then I guess you're one of the oddball Libras who acts a little bit more outgoing, because those do exist. I don't know many of them, but I mean, I know a lot of Libras, but still. I feel like there's something about your energy. It's polarizing people. You're making waves. People are noticing you. There's an intensity of fierceness to you, and you're not taking any BS. But I don't think you care, and that's the weird thing. And you not caring about that, it somehow empowers you. But like I said, do be careful because some people may not like this. Your flower card. Okay, you get 2, and they're blue. Okay. We have Waxflower, Endurance. Waxflower is probably the most significant floral export of Australia, able to survive long journeys thanks to its tough stem and hardy nature. A popular flower to add to texture and fill out arrangements. Meanings reflect their resilience and longevity. Yeah, so there's something about endurance here. Like, you're going to withstand the haters. You're going to withstand the people who have any objection to you. And it's kind of like, this is very much Taurus energy. Taurus and or who else? You can just outlast people regardless of like what they have to say about you, especially if you have doubters, especially if you have naysayers. You're here to stay. And then we have Foxglove, Insincerity. Perhaps unsurprisingly, given its poisonous nature, foxgloves are said to represent deception, insincerity, and selfish ambition. On the positive side, they can also mean determination, stateliness, and can be used to say, I believe in you. So, and this very easily explains what I meant by you polarize people. Some people may think that you're awful or whatever because, like I said, you just don't care what they have to say. You're going to do the things that you have to do because that's what you want to do. And on the other side, like, people do believe that you can get things accomplished. So I feel like you're doing you regardless because, you know, people are going to hate anyway. It's like, why bother listening to them? And that's fair. Pile 2. I wouldn't mess with you. People may try, but I wouldn't. because you're at peace. And here's the thing, I feel like there's a higher calling to this. You know, you have to do something here in order to bring something positive. And you kind of, and it's when I say you don't care, I'm not saying that you're being inconsiderate, and I'm not saying that you're being, you know, that you're stepping on everybody's toes to get what you want. It's not pure ambition. It's you living life you have to live in order to make yourself happy or to make others happy, especially those of you who have families. So there's something here about you doing what you need to do in order to protect your peace, in order to protect yourself, your dignity, the dignity of others. This is so interesting. But yeah, if this sounds like you, or if you're curious about this energy that is going to await you in spring, let's go ahead and move on to the tarot, because I'm very curious what it is that you're doing or what else is coming through for you. Especially those of you who typically aren't this assertive, I guess, or aren't this, I mean, I don't want to say aggressive, but the energy does feel very in your face and aggressive. It's like you're done with letting people tell you what to do. You're done with people being this, and that. It's like you're doing what you know is right. So for the tarot, for a lot of you, this could be in the workplace. I see that probably more than anything, but it could also just be in your life in general. Especially, let me let this card pass. Especially if you have like family that is like constantly watching you. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Yep, independent energy. You're doing what makes you happy. You're doing what you need. You are very self-sufficient. You're also very independent. Like, you don't really need anybody. We have the Six of Cups. You're not letting nostalgia hold you back either. You have the Page of Wands. You know what's funny? I mentioned this exact card in the first pile. So if you hear from that pile, I guess this is just confirmation. Because in that pile, there's a grasshopper playing a violin, and here is another a fairy-like creature playing I guess it is a violin, some stringed instrument. But this is creativity. This is also like initiation. You're starting new things and making waves. It's kind of like, I get this energy the most when people move out of their families' homes and somebody doesn't like it. It's like, why wouldn't they like it? Like, at some point, the birds have to leave the nest, you know? We have the Six of Swords, just kind of confirming that for those of you who are moving elsewhere, and the Three of Wands. I kind of want one more. We have the Knight of Wands. Okay. I can see why people are calling you selfish, because you're doing what you need to do. And here's the thing, whoever's calling you selfish is really the selfish one, because I don't see anything wrong with this independence. I feel like somebody is just mad that they've cut you off, because with the Six of Cups here, it's kind of like they feel that you owe them, or that there was something more. This doesn't feel like love. This feels like either a childhood friend, maybe family, because Six of Cups is nostalgia, something that you've known since you were a child. It's kind of like somebody here is mad that you're moving on, or that you're moving out, or that you're doing something different from them. This could be family, this could be friends, this could even be the workspace. I've probably witnessed this more in the workspace whenever I have to leave a job and people get annoyed by it, as if, you know, I'm meant to stay where I'm not making enough money, or where I'm not given enough opportunities. It's kind of like somebody here is taking it personally that you're doing what you need to do. And I see this a lot from certain people who are very insecure. You know, I've been called all sorts of things by people who just decide to take my very existence very personally. And maybe you're dealing with something similar here, pile 2. And I think this is just emboldening you to just not care, because whoever this is, it feels like an adult, honestly. This isn't somebody, I mean, a childish adult maybe, but this doesn't feel like a child. This doesn't feel like somebody that you're supposed to be taking care of. This is somebody that you've outgrown, or that you need to move on from, because this person feels like an adult that maybe has refused to grow up. And I get this a lot from parents whenever their children leave the house, or whenever their children decide to stand up for themselves and be independent. But I also get this from anybody who has been just thinking that they can ride on your coattails the entire time. It's like, no, you're doing things for you now. You're not taking care of anybody else. You're taking care of you. The Knight of Wands, it's funny that that it wants to come out reversed because they're accusing you of being selfish. You're not selfish. You're doing what you need to do for you. Back of the deck, we have Page of Swords. And it's kind of like you have a hard time getting through to them because the Page of Swords is communication. And it's kind of like, you know how when you meet people, or not meet people, but when you try to talk to people, and even though you explain to them in very simple terms, in complicated terms, in basic terms, you explain to them how something works, how something operates, X, Y, Z. They still refuse to get it. This is the kind of energy you're dealing with. So you might be dealing with somebody who doesn't care how logically you explain things to them. They're just going to keep seeing it their way because they believe if they believe something enough, it's true. So I'm actually kind of annoyed with whoever this person, people, or environment is, pile 2. And I can see why you're being emboldened. We have Empress energy and we have Six of Wands. It's kind of like you're choosing. The Empress is somebody who chooses herself, somebody who chooses to be nurtured by nature, who chooses to be powerful. Maybe you went through a glow up, or maybe you're deciding to move on to places that nourish you. And somebody, like I said, somebody here is taking it personally. It's like, why would they be mad that you're choosing something better for yourself? There was a pile in my, I think it's the April 2025 readings that felt very similar to this. Temperance, Four of Cups. And I do feel like you're going to, this person's trying to guilt trip you into something. You might actually feel bad about this because I feel like they are bringing up certain triggers. Like this person knows how to trigger you. They're bringing up certain triggers within you that you typically heal or that you've overcome. But this person, you just get in deep. I feel like you have to decord from this person with Judgment here. It's time to cut them off. And it's a shame. Yeah, it's time to cut them off because they're just going to delay your progress, and they're refusing to let you see just how in control and powerful you are. We have the Hermit to the Magician. The Hermit is just a magician in hiding. So definitely you're decording from somebody this spring. Let's put that out there for you. You are decording from anybody who is wanting you to stay where you are, is wanting you to stay a lesser, lower, less confident being, because whoever this person is, maybe they pretended that they wanted better for you, or they could even say they want better for you, but the truth is that they don't. I'm thinking of in Tangled, the movie Tangled, the Rapunzel movie from Disney, how Mother Gothel keeps telling Rapunzel to just stay inside the tower. It's like everything's fine here, but that's not where Rapunzel is meant to stay. That's not where she's meant to live for the rest of her life. She's meant to go out there and be an adult, see the world, etc. And even when she goes out there and when she comes back, Mother Gothel's all like, I told you so, I told you, da 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 da. And it's kind of like you're getting out of quote, quote, gaslighting energy, because this person, I don't know to what extent they're trying to make you feel bad or trying to guilt you into this, because for everybody it's going to be different. For some people, you have it pretty severe. For others of you, it might be something unintentional that they're doing. But you're meant to move on from this. And this spring, you're really dealing with that. You're absolutely empowered, emboldened, and this person can't stop you. And I think it's high time that you've left. If it's not a person, it could be an environment. For example, a workspace. Workspaces love to make us feel small so that we don't find better. So that's what I see for you in the springtime. Let's go ahead and get your closing messages. Let's start with the evening mantras for my pile 2. Okay, 2 wanted to come out for you. I'll take both of them. When my mind says stuff I don't like hearing, I simply choose not to listen. Thanks, but no thanks, negative voices. Yeah, you're tuning out the negativity, the negative voices. You're tuning out anything that you don't want to hear. And the second card, it doesn't matter how old I am or what's going on in my life. Epiphany is always waiting just around the corner, which is why I guess it's good to sleep with a nightlight on. Yeah, it's regardless of your age, regardless of what's going on with you, pile 2, you're meant to break out of this. You're meant to step into your awakening. Maybe some of you are a lot older than you wanted to be when you were finally leaving the house, but that's okay. I mean, I didn't leave my house until I was, almost 30. I think I turned 30 the year I left. So, and then I know people who'd never really leave. And I know it's different in different cultures. Like some people don't leave the house until they get married, if they even get married. I have family like that. There's no shame in that either. But even if you're not leaving somewhere, it's you choosing a lifestyle that is yours, and no one can tell you what to do. No one can make you feel bad about it. Because I don't see you being selfish at all. I think people are just choosing to paint you that way. Let's get the rest of your cards. Closing advice for my pile 2. We've got Creator, water. So some of you could be dealing with water energy. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We have raw intention. Creator, fire. There's a combination of fire and water here, which are considered opposites, of course, like fire and water are opposites. But I'm also seeing a very dramatic dynamic. There's going to be a little bit of drama this season, not going to lie. But with raw intention, it's like you don't care. You really don't. Number 22 is important. So the 22nd of any month could be important here as well. Or some of you could be turning 22 and you're finally deciding to move on. Maybe you're moving out of the house at 22. Or choosing a different job or career path at 22. Back of the deck, we have balance. Because things have become imbalanced. I'm being told to take this reversed, which means a lack of balance as opposed to balance. So you're trying to balance things out because things have gotten out of hand and you're no longer dealing with somebody who wants to keep you small. But this is where I leave it, pile 2. I'm sending you so much love this springtime because you're going to be in your bad bee energy. You're going to do what you need to do and it's going to be great. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 3. If you chose the Golden Healer Palm Stone, then we have a reading here for you for the spring and what spring messages await you, what's going to be happening for you this spring, or just anything that you may need to know. So the card you chose actually goes along with the song that's been stuck in my head for you. We have Spring Rain, number 41. What awaits will water the resilience that evolves amid surrender. So you're letting go of something. You're letting go of something, and I feel like we're always letting go of something, right? But I have the song November Rain by Guns N' Roses stuck in my head for you. I actually had to look it up. That's not a song that I listen to a lot. It's not even a favorite song. It's a good song, but where's the quote? I looked it up because, like I said, I don't typically listen to the song, but it goes, nothing lasts forever, and we both know hearts can change, and it's hard to hold a candle in the cold November rain. So especially if where you live, it's springtime in November. I don't know if that's a thing, but maybe November is an important time for you as well, pile 3. There is something about letting go with the rain, or something about a rainy day. There's a lot of songs about rain and heartbreak because I guess it goes hand in hand, which is funny because I don't see rain as gloomy. I see it as nourishing, but I guess it depends on how you see it. But you're definitely letting go of something here with spring rain. I feel like the spring is going to bring like a cleansing energy for you as well. So you're letting go of something with peace. You're also letting go of it with a lot of love. So let's get more cards for you. So and it's interesting that you chose the Golden Healer Palm Stone. So you could definitely be healing from something this season. We have ancestral lands. Within your roots, you will find the truest form of magic, which belongs to the essence of who you are and who you will become. Some of you, I'm hearing you going back to your mom's house or your parents' house. You could literally be going back to your country of origin if you're from elsewhere than where you live, which makes sense. It could also be the rainy season wherever you go, and you might be dealing with that. I know when I went to Italy, it was the rainy season, but it made for a wonderful time because it wasn't too hot. We also have Spring Equinox 39. Spring showers wash over you, revealing a decision awaiting its flowers. Something about rain is really important for you, pile 3, because this is the second card that mentions rain or showers. And the spring equinox could be important. I know that was back a few days ago, actually. No. Yeah, a few days ago, actually. Because I'm actually a little late to this reading because of the things that I had going on. And we also have Astrological New Year 5. What may have seemed as an end is just beginning to fully breathe. So there's endings and beginnings here for you. I feel like you're ending something and that's allowing for new things to flourish. This could happen during the Astrological New Year, which actually coincides with the spring equinox, as the spring equinox is typically the beginning of Aries. So it all goes together very perfectly. There's something about synchronicity here. In fact, the rain could synchronize with something in your life as well. You know what I'm seeing? And this is not going to be for everybody, but for those of you who are okay with love and romance and all that stuff going on, you know how when it rains and it forces two people to be together, and getting that scene from Pride and Prejudice where it's raining and Darcy confesses his love and whatever, and they both happen to take shelter under the gazebo or whatever. That's what I'm seeing. So the rain could bring you together with something important. Doesn't necessarily have to be romance. So for some of you, it could be. For some of you, this could actually be like weather could postpone something so that you're able to see something else. And I say this because I'll go on vacation sometimes. Like I used to go to Disney World a lot, and it would rain, and of course we couldn't go out and about in the park, so I would step into a little store or something just to take shelter, and I would see something that I absolutely love, or I would learn about something that I absolutely love. So just little detours. I feel like the weather is helping you get certain detours, usually rain, but it could be other types of weather as well. So take that as it resonates. It's all divine orchestration. Back of the deck we have Lamb 23. Nothing is ever late, and everything is as it should be. Trust in the self. Yeah, nothing's ever late. I'm getting that quote from The Hobbit, or is it The Hobbit, or is it the first Lord of the Rings book / movie? A wizard is never late. He was always exactly on time. Gandalf. So yeah, for some of you, there's divine orchestration, divine timing here. Let's get the rest of your cards though. Lots of individual energy as well. And some of you, there's a companion energy here, because some of these cards have little, this guy has like a little person on his shoulder, this lady has a whole whale that she's riding, and this one has a lamb. Some of you could be you're the sheep, by the way, with the lamb. But there is a, you could have an animal companion, or you could find a companion. I'm going to be nice to myself. Oh, that's so cute and that's so sweet. And I love these shoes. I love this little frog in her little shoes. They're the cutest thing. But some of you, you're going to be a lot kinder to yourself this season. Why am I hearing like getting your beach body ready? And then what's the quote? This beach is going to get whatever body I give it. That's what I'm hearing for some of you. I'm going to treat myself the way I would treat my best friend. Some of you are really going to be very nice to yourselves. I feel like you owe it to yourself to be very kind, because your body, your soul, you do a lot for yourself that you're not even aware of. If we were to treat our body as if it was a separate entity, it does so much for us. And I feel like a lot of you are going to be a lot nicer to it in whichever way that is for you. For some of you, you could be getting more exercise, you could be eating better, you could just decide to take more rest. Maybe some of you are resting a little bit more. So yeah, I love this for you. This energy is a lot more calm than, for example, the last pile. It's funny because we have two really calm, chill piles, and then we had another pile that was just intense, and I was like, wow. So let's see what else we got going on for you, pile 3. We have serendipity, shooting star. There's something about like chance encounters for you. You're going to have a chance encounter this spring for sure. Something you're not expecting. And protection, Shenring. You're definitely very protected as well. So don't worry about this being something crazy or out of the ordinary. You're exactly where you're meant to be. You're very divinely protected as well. Let's get your flower cards. And all the other piles, I saved the flower cards for last. And this one, I want to do it right now. Oh, these are pretty. Delphinium, opportunity. Once carried by Native Americans to ward off scorpions, delphiniums are associated with protection from danger. They are also symbols of possibility, hope, and new opportunity. Their delicate open petals are said to inspire an open heart, a lightness, and a heavenly feeling in the recipient, perfect for those daydreaming of high fashion and haute couture. So yeah, for a lot of you, you're very protected, not just from scorpions, but from a lot of things. And there's also new opportunities. I literally just said both of those. I literally said both of those things with these two cards, and here we are, just confirming it further that you're very protected in these new opportunities that you have. So let's say there's an opportunity that maybe there's a little bit of a risk to it. You're going to be protected from that risk. And I'm not saying to go willy-nilly with this risk. I'm not saying to go all in. It's just, I feel like you're going to be just fine. Even if you see, I mean, be aware of what's happening. Be aware of the risks you're taking. But you're going to be fine regardless. So, and that said, don't take crazy risks. You know, I'm not telling you to just go willy-nilly into anything. I'm not saying throw all caution to the wind. I just feel like you're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine, pile 3. I feel like some of you need to hear that. Let's get the rest of your cards. We have loving. Oh, this is beautiful. There's something about love here because there's a lot of green in this pile. Like, not all the cards in this deck are green and green-like pile 3, but there's a lot of heart chakra energy. You're learning to love yourself by letting go of things that don't serve you. And I feel like I say that in every other reading, every other pile, but this is true. I think we constantly need to be reminded that when we choose better for ourselves, we are showing ourselves how much we love ourselves. Back of the deck, we have neglected, especially if you've been in an environment or around people who have neglected your needs, or your concerns. Because we're not playing around with what helps us. We're not playing around at all. We're not playing around here, essentially. We're not playing around with our safety, our concerns. If you're not heard, if your needs are not being met, you go elsewhere, because this is one way that you show yourself that you love yourself. Let's get the rest of your cards and then we'll move on to the tarot. Maybe. Nothing lasts forever, and we both know hearts can change. Why is that song stuck in my head? Look, I don't listen to Guns N' Roses, and that's not even, like, I've known of the song, but it's not even a favorite song. But that song is stuck in my head. Maybe some of you really like that song, or that song has some significance. Okay. That's too many cards. Can I get one or two? There we go, more green. So green is definitely your color this springtime. We have Archangel Raphael. Maybe somebody named Raphael is important here. We have healing, intuition, and health. So for a lot of you, you're paying a lot of attention to your health for sure. You're also healing. Maybe some of you are literally going through a heart healing. Whether it's like, if you have a heart condition, you could be doing better things for your heart. So you're doing exercises and eating a diet that is healthier for your heart. I am kind of getting that here because there's something about you treating yourself better. There's also the heart chakra space in general, how it's meant to, I would use that in conjunction with anything that you're doing for your heart health. Do some heart chakra, maybe listen to the binaural beats, maybe do some heart chakra centered yoga. Use it in conjunction with that. Use it along with that to see if that helps improve anything at all. Because I know certain people who have heart ailments, and I always encourage them to do both of it just to get it, just to see if just experiment, see if it does anything. For some of you, this could be more psychological or spiritual, where you're learning to love yourself, where you're learning to trust in yourself. Some of you could literally be wearing more green as well, because you're done with neglectful energy. For some of you, you could be going through a breakup because somebody wasn't having your needs be met, or somebody felt not seen. Because out of all the piles, this actually has more masculine men characters. I want to say that's one. I'm not sure if he is, but Raphael definitely is. Even though angels don't really have a gender, I know. But still. Yeah, if this sounds like you, and I feel like you will know if you're headed toward this path. Maybe you're already on this, and for some of you, you already know that the springtime is going to be a time where you're having to deal with like a breakup, a separation, or a moving on from something, and instead you're choosing to focus on your own love, on your self-love, on your self-love journey. So if this is resonating with you, if you know this is what's going on, then let's move on to the tarot. If not, we do have 2 other piles. I only keep it to 3 for my seasonal messages. So for pile 3, maybe somebody had a change of heart, since we're talking about the heart space. When you tell people about this, if you tell anybody about this, they're not going to know what to say, by the way. Don't take it to mean that they don't care, and don't take it to mean that they think anything of it. I feel like they're just not going to know what to say. Because even I'm trying to think of things to tell you, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you don't feel the need for people's advice or anything. You just want somebody to hear you out. We have the Seven of Cups options. We have the Two of Cups, Ace of Wands. Interesting. Okay. We have the Ten of Swords. Lots of cards. Ten of Cups, King of Swords, High Priestess. Okay. Something happened. And I'm not sure if this is like a story that's already played out or something that will play out. There's key characters here. Back of the deck, Eight of Pentacles. Okay. So there's options here. This could be, let's say this is romantic. And of course, you could take this to mean anything. This could be career. This could be friends. This could be family. But there were a lot of options here. Seven of Cups is like looking at your options. So let's say you were in a more casual thing with somebody. I feel like they could have gone with somebody else. Or you both wanted to see other people. With the Ace of Wands and Two of Cups. And it's like, even though you were able to see other people, you just didn't feel like it. Because what you didn't realize is that you were healing. You were going through a heartbreak. When you go through a heartbreak, it's kind of like, you're not going to be in an energy to see new people, at least in this particular sense. So I feel like people are reaching out to you, or you even know that people are into you. Ace of Wands reversed, you're just not feeling it. You're not feeling it at all. Even if you like them, even if you find them attractive, there's just something here about that you're not in it. Ten of Swords reversed though, it does let me know you're not seeing this as rock bottom. I just feel like you're focusing on you, because the King of Swords and the High Priestess and the Ten of Cups, it's like finding your own happiness within yourself. High Priestess is a very, I mean, she can be very solitary. I kind of take her to be like the hermit, but she's very intuitive. I feel like you're learning to be happy with yourself. With the King of Swords, you're deciding to hold off on anything that isn't right. It's holding your standards very high. It's also being very logical with the people you allow into your lives, or the things that you allow to come into your life. So for a lot of you, I feel like either you've already healed this heartbreak and you're dealing with just being on your own and being happy by yourself, or you're about to go into this. So you could be at any stage of this. I am going to get more cards for you though. Eight of Pentacles, you're focusing more on your surroundings, on your abundance, mostly money and the things around you. You're focusing on your daily life. You're focusing on what makes you you, your nourishment, if you will. We've got Five of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Emperor. For some of you, you're really just choosing to not, like, I see people approaching you, but you just don't, it's not that you don't care, you just don't, I'm hearing it's a no. Like, people might be into you. Maybe, you know what this is? It's like, and I don't know how this is going to be, it's not a great thing to say, but this is a scenario that I'm being given. You know how there's people out there that maybe you flirt with? Let's say you're in a relationship, but you still are a little flirtatious with people. There's people out there that you think, if I was single, I would date that person. Or if I was divorced, I would date that person. Well, you go through the breakup, you go through the divorce, that person shows up and they want you. Suddenly you don't care. Suddenly you don't care because you recognize that all you really wanted from them was attention. You didn't actually want their romance. You didn't actually want to be with them. It was just a distraction from whatever you were living. And now that you are no longer living that relationship that you left behind, it's like it doesn't matter. You didn't actually want them. You just liked the idea, the escapism of that person. So for some of you, you're dealing with this, and I kind of get it. You know, I mean, I feel like a lot of people have been in that energy. Or let's say you were to get in a relationship with them, it wouldn't feel the same. It wouldn't hit the same because you're still processing a heartbreak. You're still processing the ending of something. Back of the deck, we have the Three of Cups. You could even not feel like hanging out with your friends. Seven of Pentacles. So I do see a healing here. I don't know why I turned that upside down. I do see a healing here. I do see, and I see this with people sometimes. They go through a divorce and they go through a glow up either financially and or physically and or in lifestyle. Like their life just gets better, but they don't feel like dating. They may not even feel like hanging around the same friends, especially if they had same friends in common. So yeah, this has to be about a breakup. I mean, it could also be like a breakup with a company or even friends or moving on from something. But for a lot of you, this is very much romantic. So take it as it resonates. I do feel like you will make new friends. And you could even meet new people that are potential romantic interest. I don't see you moving forward with them though, because you have a lot going on here. So this is what the springtime has in store for you, pile 3. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Or you could already be going through this. I feel like for some of you, this is just a reflection of what's already happening. So for your advice, I'm going to see, what does pile 3 need to know about this? get your evening mantras first. When I take inventory of my day, I realize it's full of mini victories. It's just up to me to provide myself with the high fives. Isn't that why we have two hands? Yeah, it's kind of like you're taking accountability for your own happiness, for your own joy, for whatever's going on here. Because I'm seeing you deciding to be responsible for your own happiness. You don't want anybody else to be in charge of your happiness. Maybe in the past you've decided to let your happiness be governed by the people around you, whether it was friends, lovers, etc. And now it's like, I don't want my happiness to be in the hands of anybody but myself. That's what I'm seeing for a lot of you, which is a wonderful energy to have. It's taking accountability for your own happiness. We have the distraction of shiny things. Like I said, for some of you, there was a distraction in the things that you had before, and now that you have access to them, it's not the same. We have imbalance. You're balancing yourself out. And fall in love with your own story. Absolutely. You're falling in love with yourself, with your own story, with the way you handle things. And I think this is the beauty of this, is that you're not letting yourself be led astray by what people have to tell you or what people have to say, because it's kind of like you don't seek outside validation. You don't seek the attention of anybody else. You're not an attention seeker in this way. And maybe if you were in the past, you're no longer going to be that. It's kind of like you don't need anybody's approval. You don't need anybody's validation. You validate yourself, and that's all that matters. And I feel like people are going to notice this and wonder why you don't react the same way you used to. And it's like, you're no longer the person you used to be. You've outgrown that personality. You've outgrown that situation. Back of the deck, the edge of evolution feels messy. And it might feel a little messy. You might not even know who you are for a moment. Some of you could be going through what is it called? A Saturn return. I feel like that's when this is most felt. When you're recognizing that you no longer care what people have to say about you. You just care about what is good for you. And it might feel a little messy, but it's going to be great. You don't need anybody else but yourself, and that's beautiful in all of its own. But this is where I leave you, Pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I'm sending you so much love and healing, and if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you around. Take care.